Today, we're going to be comparing the Godox VL300 against the Godox SL60W to figure out which one's the best for you and which one's best for which situation. As always, this video is not sponsored at all and will not be super technical. The reason for that is that I like to lay things out really simply and easy for you to understand so that you know what you're jumping into and which one is the best for you, and in this case, also which situation. I realize I just said that in a very like TV producer voice, but anyway, let's jump into this. We're starting off with a light brightness test to allow you to compare these two lights for yourself. All right, so next up, we're gonna go over something also really important, and that is fan noise. Fan noise is really important to a lot of you, including myself, because we don't want fan noise to jump into our productions and cause a lot of distraction in the audio. So I'm gonna let you take a listen to both of these so you can figure out which one seems quietest to you, and maybe that'll help you decide if one of these is the better one for you. If you haven't already seen the comparison video between the Aputure 120D Mark II and the Godox SL60W that I did, you should go check that out. But if you haven't, you won't know about the fan noise issue that I talked about on the Godox SL60W. These lights have come out in a newer model that the fan noise is a lot quieter, whereas there are older models out there that you could purchase from a facility that hasn't been pushing them out as often. You might get one that's older and they have a little bit louder of fans. So just so you know, the Godox light, the newer series, the newer models that have been coming out the last year or so, those are the quieter ones. Those are the ones you want to get. And if you're curious about the Godox VL300, it is brand spanking new and it has such a great quiet system. I'd say they're about equal. This is one of the newer ones, and so they both really aren't that loud. Next up, we're going to talk about what you get when you purchase these lights. The Godox SL60W is a $130 LED video light. Really basic what it comes with the light, a Bowens mount reflector, one power cord, and a remote. That's all you need to make this light work, and it does really great for a bunch of situations. And on the other side of the table, we have the Godox VL300, which is a $750 LED video light. This comes with a carrying case, a control unit, a power unit, two cables, a remote, and a Bowens mount reflector. As you can see with what comes with these lights, that the VL300 comes with a whole lot more than the SL60W. And that is because this is a much more powerful light. It requires a lot more to make this light operate at optimal speed and power without overheating. Now, I'd like to take a moment to go over a few pros and cons between these two lights, but I do encourage you, if you'd like a more in-depth pros and cons list, to go check out the comparison videos for these lights with their Aputure counterparts, the 120D and the 300D Mark II. Those comparisons will be linked in the description, but also at the end of this video. One of the biggest pros for the Godox SL60W is its cheap price. $130 for one light, especially with all that it can do as far as quality, is really great. Another great thing about this light is that it does have the ability to tell you what the temperature of the light is at as far as how hot it's getting. This light is daylight balanced. It's supposed to be right around 5600 Kelvin, although I do find, and this is a con, that this light is sometimes a little bit off, and I do have to add in a bit more cooler of a tone in post-production or in camera to get this looking accurate. So it is a little bit off in that department. Another con to this light is that it doesn't go any lower than 10%. And so if you really want some control over the output of your light that goes below 10%, I would suggest you look at a different light because this one's not going to do it for you. But otherwise, it is a really great light and super strong in power all throughout. Now going over to the Godox VL300, some of the pros for this light is that it's a super powerfully bright light and you have a lot of control over it. It goes all the way from 0% up to 100%, and it's done in a linear fashion. So this is a really great pro to this light. This is something where you get a lot of control, and therefore that price tag does make a little bit more sense. I would say one of the cons to this light is that there are a lot of cables and the power unit and the control unit to use with this light. However, this light does have the ability to be run on V-mount batteries, whereas the SL60W does not. So if you need to be out and about and not constrained by power cables and you just want to run off battery, this one is a really great option, as well as being really bright, because most likely if you're outdoors, you're going to need a really bright light anyway. Like I said, these are just some basic pros and cons. If you'd like a little bit more in-depth of a list, go check out those videos. They're going to be linked in the description. Those should help you out a whole lot more. Now, I'd like to show you some example footage of these being used in real life situations. I've used both of them on many different shoots, and I'd like to take that time now to show those to you. One of the biggest questions you might have about these two lights is, why would I use one over the other? And the easiest answer is that this light, the VL300, is a really powerful light. And I use it often with product videos or when I'm on location shooting in a really big area or a dark room, because this allows me to really light things up. Whereas the SL60W just can't really upkeep with that. It's a very weak output, especially when you put a light dome across the light, which is what I'm most often doing because I need to diffuse the light with the light dome. It takes a lot of that light power out of it, and so the stronger light makes it so that it doesn't lose all that power that I needed. So if that makes any sense, that is a reason why you might choose the VL300 over the SL60W. But I do want to assure you that the SL60W is great for interviews. In fact, I'm using it right now to light me up, and it does an amazing job. You do just have to have it really close to your subject in order to get the fullest amount of diffusion across the face. Whereas the VL300, if I were to have it this close, it would blow me out if I had it at the fullest power. So I would just dial it down to about 50%, and it might look about the same. The benefit of this one being a brighter light is that if I need to have the light further away from the subject for an interview where I want a wider angle, this light does great. It gets a really great shot, but keeping that diffused, bright look on my subject, not losing any quality there. So these are reasons you might choose one light over the other as well. So hopefully this comparison really helped you out in understanding the differences between these two lights and why you might choose one over the other. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments because I'm answering questions all the time. I love helping people out, so feel free to do that. If you found this video useful, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing because I'm making videos just like this all the time for filmmakers and subjects revolving around filmmaking. So don't want to miss out on that. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.